Hey, Lightning, have you heard?
No. I said no. You can kill all that right now. Like at this moment, stop.
No, I haven't.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck. 'Cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel and the ones that run on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Whoa, whoa.
It's the Truck Show with your hosts, Lightning and Holman.
This episode of the Truck Show podcast, Have You Heard? Is proudly presented by Nissan. With the Frontier, Titan, and Titan XD, Nissan has a truck for every need, along with the legendary Nissan durability. Test drive your next truck at a local Nissan dealer today, or point your browser to nissanusa.com, where you can use the build and price tool to configure a Nissan truck that fits your lifestyle.
And when you're thinking about adding power or improving fuel economy, Banks has over 65 years of experience. Whether it's cold air intakes or exhaust systems, tuning, throttle control, charge air cooling, lubrication components, and much more, no one offers smarter, safer, 50-state emissions-compliant performance parts than Gale Banks. You'll find the best engineered parts for your truck at bankspower.com.
And when you're looking for quality, full synthetic lubrication for your truck, AMSOIL has you covered with motor oil, lubricants and protectants, grease, additives, and more. AMSOIL synthetic lubricants deliver wear protection, engine cleanliness, and fuel efficiency that conventional oils simply can't match. Find out how AMSOIL synthetic lubricants can save you money and time by helping your vehicles run better and last longer than with conventional oils at AMSOIL.com. When it comes to lubrication, AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
EGR now celebrating their 50th anniversary as a leading manufacturer of truck and SUV accessory products with headquarters right here in the good old US of A. As an Australian-owned, family-run business with humble beginnings, EGR is now a global leader in the automotive accessory industry. If you're looking for window visors, fender flares, tonneau covers, lights, hood guards, and more, you'll find them all at EGRUSA.com.
Hey, Lightning, I know you haven't heard this.
Oh, hell no.
And that's because it's...
Oh, because it's...
embargoed.
Well, technically, by the time you hear this, it's not, but it is now. So we're going to call up our friend Brent Hagen over at Nissan, and we're going to talk about an all-new Nissan vehicle that just got announced.
The Armada? Shh. Why are you saying shush where they can hear us?
All right, we'll call him.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
Is this one Mr. Brett Hagen? It's Lightning and Holman, Truck Show Podcast.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Well, long time no see.
Here?
Wait a minute. I may have been on a super secret location with Brent Hagen.
Wait a minute. Is that where you called me from the other day?
Yes.
You're like, and it was kind of echoey?
Yes.
And you wouldn't say what you were doing.
Right.
You're like, I'm somewhere right now. Like, why did you call just to tease me?
Because.
And Brent, he literally called me from your place, wherever that was, and just to tease me. I was like, what's up with that? That's not cool.
I can't believe he did that to you.
Yes, you can.
So
you know Sean, and he can. Yes.
All right. So we have Brent Hagen on, who is going to talk to us about the currently embargoed, but by the time you hear this, the embargo would have been lifted.
So wait, I'm confused. The embargo is no more?
Well, when you're listening to this, it's no more. Currently, you can't talk about it. You're under an NDA right now.
I am.
Yes. We're bringing you...
Did I sign something when I walked into the pod
We're bringing you into the circle of trust. This is all verbal right now.
So if I burst into like a diatribe about how amazing the Armada is, I could do that now and I don't get in trouble? Or
once you leave the studio door, Brent Hagen has a whole closet full of lawyers who will come after you.
I wonder how many lawyers you can fit in a closet. It's got to be a big closet.
It is a big, massive closet.
Are you going to tell us what you experienced, or is that for another episode?
No, that's for now.
That's for now.
So here's what we're going to do. So I got a phone call saying, hey, we've got a certain property at this top secret location in Southern California, and Brent Hagen would like to video conference with you around this property and give you a walkthrough of our brand new property.
Okay.
And it turned out to be the all-new Nissan Armada.
Nice.
And it's freaking awesome.
Okay. Are you going to tell me about it now?
No,
You're
that's
make
why
me
we have
beat it out of you.
No, that's why we have Brent on the
well,
phone.
okay. I don't know what to ask. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about
That's
it.
true. He has not seen it. I was going to put up a photo of it.
I mean, what do you want me to do? Does it have 4 wheels? I haven't seen it. I don't even know where to start.
All right, I'm putting up a photo on the Truck Show podcast TV here.
Okay.
So our man Lightning will be able to see it while Brent.
Yes, please.
You walk us through the nitty gritty because yes, Nissan is a sponsor of the show, and we get some special access from time to time. And this was one of those times where they invited me out to see something that's coming out soon, and it was the brand new Nissan Armada. And I will tell you, from the second I saw it, I was blown away. As far as full-size SUVs go, this thing is incredible. So
now, let me ask you this. Are you comparing it to the old Armada? Or are you
no,
comparing,
I'm comparing
it to other
anything out there
Okay,
right
so
now.
everything else it's up against in the market.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and it is awesome.
All right. He's pulling it up on the Podshed Studio TV. What? That's not what I expected.
So the one on the left is their brand new off-road package. That's the Pro 4X, which
okay.
hasn't been offered in the Armada before. And on the right is the Platinum Reserve, which is the High-Zoot Luxo version. And
The Lightning Bougie version.
and Nissan won't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. The Armada and its brethren within the company, Patrol and the Infiniti, were all based on the same platform. But the Armada was a little bit of a different, like a sub-cousin to the other ones. This is the global Patrol. So we finally get that, which means we also get the off-road capability that comes with it. You look at like Land Cruiser, right? Toyota's basically abandoned the full-size Land Cruiser market. They came out with the Land Cruiser Prado. They called it Land Cruiser here. If you want a real Land Cruiser that competes with the Prado overseas, you have to buy the Lexus LX600, which doesn't have the off-road stuff. Nissan came in and said, oh, okay, hold our beer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so Brent, can you tell us the genesis of the new Armada? Like, how did it come to be?
Yeah, I mean, Sean kind of buried the lead there. Honestly, we've been discussing the next generation Patrol and Armada for quite some time, and the consensus in the organization was we need to bring these together. We hear from consumers here in the U.S. and saying, "Oh, why can't I get the bits of the Patrol? Why can't I get the the rear locking diff? Why can't I get some of those items?" And we said, okay, fine, we're going to redo this. Let's make it one model. We sell it globally as the Patrol. We sell it in the U.S. as the Armada. But, you have everything that you have available on the Patrol is now available on the Armada. That was the genesis. And then the cherry on top, we heard from them, when are we getting a Pro 4X, right? We did Pro 4X for Titan. We've done Pro 4X for Frontier. It's wildly popular. People love it. Why aren't we getting a Pro 4X? So obviously those are the big news that we have for this is, it's going to be the same as the Gold Patrol. We could talk about all the specs and features, but it's the same. And then we've got a Pro 4X.
Here's what I noticed immediately is that you've got 2 trucks in this photo that we're looking at now. The one that is facing us, the Armada that's dead, right? I'm looking square in its eyes. It's familiar to me because it looks like a larger Frontier, which I loved when you guys redid the face of the Frontier.
So notice the 3 slots that are at the top of the grill.
Okay.
So those are similar to the 25 Frontier that have that old hard body look. Oh. So Nissan is now making that design language on vehicles that have the off-road capability. They'll have those kind of leading edge, top of the grill, leading edge hood slots. And so the grills are different between the Platinum Reserve and the Pro 4X. You can see the Pro 4X has a more aggressive look.
Yeah, you definitely hit on it. We have 70 years of history building SUVs globally. And so we want to bring some of those historical elements in, the Easter eggs, if you will. So there's 3 slots in the grill as it harkens back to the first generation Pathfinder that we had here in the U.S. The hard body, as you mentioned, several iterations of that. Then on the same thing on the Platinum Reserve, you'll notice the 2 bars that go across the front. That's actually, a tip of the cap to the first generation Patrol and the second generation Patrol. The first generation that we had starting in the mid 50s had a dual bar that went across. Then we went the second generation that started in the 60s and it had a single bar that went across the grill. So both of those are a tip of the cap to the historical, Nissan models.
All right, and Brent, while you're talking about it, I'm gonna throw some photos up to illustrate what you're talking about it, or I'll throw up some photos to illustrate as you're talking about, so Lightning can see exactly what you're referring to.
So, do you want to start at the nose of the Armada?
Yeah. So
and talk about
we'll start at
fascia.
Let's start at the Platinum Reserve, and we'll do the exterior. Okay. Then we'll go to the interior, and then we'll go to chassis if that works for you, Brent.
Yeah, that works great.
Okay, so I'm looking at the front, the DRLs, very kind of, you've seen something similar in the Frontier. They're kind of
more
like,
so Titan, I would say.
Oh, yeah, Titan, yes, correct. where they're kind of like it's an E shape, like a squared off E, and they're facing each other.
Two C-clamps, I would.
C-clamps. I like that. It's a better description. But now you carried that same design language into, can you scroll down just a little bit, Holman, where you've got the proximity sensors lower below the grill. The same design language goes across, and I find that really cool. And then it sets in right where the license plate's going to be. Well, in the case of me, I'm not putting a license plate there, but
Yeah, I mean, you hit on it. So the dual C clamps is what we call that, and actually those tie in. If you look on the Platinum Reserve, it ties into the two bars that go across the grill, so it kind of connects everything together, gives you a really wide, broad view, and harkens back to Frontier and Titan has that same DNA across the vehicles.
let's go across the side. We're looking at the wheels. I don't know what they look like. 20s to me. It's hard to say.
On the Platinum Reserve, those are 22s.
22s.
Dang. He's my man.
No, they look, but look how big they. I mean, it looks.
That just says how big of a vehicle this is.
It's massive, and the fact that it has big wheels that the tires don't look underwhelming on it, which is incredible considering what a monster this thing is. So much room on the inside, and I know we'll get to it, but I know that you guys also improved the accommodations on the inside. So. We're walking around the side. Oh, by the way, Lightning, you'll notice that the fender vents that are on this,
those are real?
They're actually functional. So
well done.
People who want to do snorkels and things like that, one is actually the air intake. And what's the other one, Brent?
Yeah, driver's side is air intake, and then the passenger side is a vent. So yeah, if they want to put a snorkel, they can put it on the driver's side.
But don't you understand as an automotive manufacturer that those are supposed to be fake? They're not supposed to do anything? They're just supposed to be for looks.
No, they work.
No, I know they do.
They work.
So wait, go back to the side profile really quick here. How do you describe these lines? Because these have the lines of the Armada show it in motion. Holman, how do you describe this line back here where it's like a...
Well, so the belt line's really flat.
Yes.
But then before the D pillar, it kicks up at about
feels like a wing,
a 45-degree angle. And then it gets flat again before touching the roof. So kind of the color looks sort of like a dolphin or a shark fin. And then the roof and glass and everything above that chrome line at the body line or waistline is all black.
But it's swooped back as if it's in motion, and it's like I
think it looks cool.
An airplane. What's the center wing on an airplane?
Vertical stabilizer.
Thank you.
It's always tough on a vehicle that has a very flat, tall side to make it look athletic. And I think the new Armada looks really athletic.
Yeah, I appreciate it. There's a couple elements there that the design team went into. One is the floating roof. So you kind of talked about how the D pillar kicks up, but then it's segmented off. And so you either have a two-tone painted roof or it's a floating roof design. And then also you've got the kind of shoulder line that goes lower from the back all the way to the front, and creates what we call the kind of anti-wedge design. So instead of it being a wedge like a sports car that kind of comes to a point in the front, this is the opposite. It gives you an in-motion read, but also kind of a bigger, handsome, masculine stance.
You know what's funny is people will look at this and they might go, oh, I see a little bit of maybe Range Rover, which isn't a bad thing. But what I see is different. The floating roof idea and where the A-pillar comes and then the roof was sort of capped, really that was started on the GTR, the current generation, 15 years ago. I feel like most of the manufacturers since then have stolen it for SUVs and trucks and things like that. And so you see a lot of that design language. But the GTR was like one of the very first vehicles that had that kind of floating roof over the windshield. And what I'm seeing is Nissan refining that idea here on the Armada.
Yeah, very well said. Absolutely true. So
we're going to move to, I'm going to show Lightning a picture of a Nissan GTR so he can see what I'm talking about with the kind of the floating roof idea, where there was blacked out A-pillars and the roof floated above the bodywork. And that was started on the GTR, and everybody's done it since then, and everybody attributes it to other manufacturers. Ford's done it with Explorer and some of their vehicles. Range Rover's done it, a bunch of different ones, but it really started with Nissan sports cars, and so that's sort of, that's what I see. So
I feel like this harkens back to the episode, it was, I don't know, a couple dozen ago, where you were talking about all the Nissan firsts. It surprised us. It was like Nissan's had so many firsts.
How about spray and bed liners? How about the adjustable Utilitrack rails? How about the first one in a modern truck to really have in-bed storage when they had on the first generation Titan back in, 2004 or so, with the storage behind the rear wheel. That was Brent's baby as well. The convex and concave towing mirrors that appeared on Titan was stolen by other manufacturers. I believe it was actually a Nissan patent that was ripped off by other manufacturers. I don't know if Brent
Dirty.
can nod or not, but I
Dirty.
can tell you I've heard stories about that. So there's a lot of innovation.
Brent is strangely
quiet.
silent here.
I am smiling over here. I'm just, I appreciate Sean's knowledge. He was stealing a lot of this from me because absolutely, we're quite proud of a lot of that innovation, but we don't quite get credit for it.
So then, Brent, let's swivel around to the backside, looking at the tailgate. Talk us through.
Yeah, so you set that same C-clamp design from the headlamps is now inverted, obviously in the rear, so you get that the dual C-clamps that go across in the tail lamps. For Pro 4X and Platinum Reserve, you've got a LED strip that goes the whole full width of the tailgate that connects that in. For Platinum Reserve, you've got bright chrome and satin chrome accents across the side and the back there. You'll get to it on Pro 4X, but everything's blacked out on Pro 4X. Yeah. So and then one of the big things that we have is kind of cleaning up the back read and the back view. So we got rid of the wiper arm. We moved it, tucked it up under the spoiler. So you got a spoiler there for better fuel economy, but then also gives a nice hiding point for the windshield wiper arm.
It's funny. I would not even have called that. I didn't see the wiper.
But look
at
how clean
all.
it looks when it's not there.
And it's coming down from the top instead
Yeah.
of right above the Nissan logo at the bottom. You ever see those so many vehicles driving around with a piece of painter's tape holding it down so it doesn't
At the car wash.
Yeah, the car wash.
Well, that's what they do is they stick the tape on it when you go through the automatic car wash so it doesn't get ripped off.
and people don't take it off.
take it
They
off.
just drive
They
it
drive
around for weeks. Yeah.
All right, so Brent, I'm moving to the Pro 4X exterior. So the Pro 4X is now up on the screen for Lightning to see.
Yeah, so you get a completely different look for Pro 4X, not only from a color perspective, but you got a unique grille. The headlamps are blacked out, so unique headlamps. You've got a unique front fascia that gives not only a different look and appearance and ability for the skid plate to be there, but then also improves the approach angle. So you have 34 degrees of approach angle there in the front with that. You've got a metal skid plate, tow hooks. You can see the lava red tow hooks and lava red accents throughout the vehicle on the Nissan badge, on the tow hooks, on the interior as well. On the back D-pillar, you've got the Armada logo that is in the lava red as well. So a completely more rugged, more adventurous look. Kind of moving to the side. I don't know if you guys are looking at the side yet, but moving to the side, you've got over fenders. You've got the all-terrain tires, completely different, unique wheel, 20-inch wheel for the Pro 4X. So we really tried to make not only the color and the look different, but actually function different as well. I mean, again, we talked about a moment ago, this is the Global Patrol. Pro 4X will be unique to the U.S., but it has to deliver all of that 70 years of heritage of the king of all terrains. It's got to deliver that here in the U.S. and unique for our market. So not only the look of it, but also the function as well.
I don't recall seeing a front end have that approach angle. I mean, it's dramatic. When you see it from the side, it really kicks up under the grille going towards the front wheels.
So the other thing that I want to bring up is not only does the Armada have a completely unique front fascia, but again, going back to Brent talking about the lava red accents, like on the Nissan badge. So when we had him back in, whenever the Pro 4X Titan and Frontier came out, he had talked about this back then. Well, at that time, there was a big battle inside Nissan. The color of the company's logo had never been changed before for a product. Not even a GTR, which is like the holy grail. If you're going to do anything to any Nissan product, it's the GTR that would get that nod. They would go, that's the car that does it. That's the icon. That's the halo. Their team was able to convince, management essentially, no, this we need this to stand out. So they have this lava red accent. Well, now you're noticing not only was it on the Pro 4X Titan and then the Pro 4X Frontier, but now it's coming other places. I believe maybe the Rock Creek edition, like Pathfinder, I think, has it, and the new Rock Creek version of the Murano or the Rogue. One of them, I think, has it. Now you're seeing it on the Pro 4X here on Armada. So it's so successful that they've decided that this is going to be a signature of their off-road packages.
Brent, is it no longer a battle? Is it now like everyone loves it and they're just running with it and you guys get no credit?
It's now a global standard. I mean, it's one of those things that we innovated here in the region, here in the U.S., and then now they brought Pro 4X to other markets. They got it on the Navara. So yeah, it's absolutely no longer a fight, but it was. I mean, Sean's absolutely correct. It was a big discussion to get that signature element, and now it's so wildly popular that it's global.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
This is also, you'll notice it on the D-pillar where it was chrome. Now you can see that no matter what color the Pro 4X comes in, the chrome piece on the D-pillar that has the break between the body color and the roof, or the floating roof, is lava red on the Pro 4X. That kind of gives the exterior a little different pop as well.
The wheels look aftermarket. The wheels do not look OE, meaning, and that's a compliment.
Well, but by the way, our man Brent is also, we'll have him back on to talk about 25 Frontier. You and I both fell in love with the wheels that are on that thing. Nissan is killing it with wheels right now.
Thank you.
Who's at the helm there doing that, Brent? Like, is there one guy going rogue in the wheel development department? Like, what artist is having free reign?
There's actually a couple of folks, but the truck team is really run out of the design studio in San Diego, and they do a fantastic bang-up job in the wheels on Frontier and others. They've knocked it out of the park. I have to completely agree with you guys.
I'm going to move to the interior. And we'll start with the Platinum Reserve interior because I think my photo set for the lighting is a little bit better. I was completely blown away with the interior. It is, for its price class, it is one of the best interiors of any of the full-size SUVs. It's got the dual displays, so it's very familiar with like my Aria dashboard. But just the materials, the look... I mean, just shutting the door in there.
Everything is wrapped in leather.
It's so quiet when you shut the door. It's like you hear the door and then nothing.
Is it dual pane glass?
Laminated.
Laminated,
yeah.
okay.
And,
Yep, laminated glass.
And it's got lots of sound deadening. I didn't get a chance to drive it yet or anything like that, but just sitting in this warehouse, being able to touch the buttons and play with stuff, I was like, man, this thing is cavernous and there's no noise in here.
Brent, I'm always curious, and I don't know if we're going to take this on a tangent, but like sound deadening. The manufacturers typically would just put a little tiny square of sound deadening material on the outer panel of the doors and such just to stop some resonance. At what point do you convince them to add more and more and more so it really gives you that silent, luxurious feel when you're on the road? Because it all costs.
Yeah, I mean, it not only does it cost money, but it also costs mass, right? And mass is fuel economy at the end of the day. So it's a trade-off that you have to overcome. When you add mass, you have to find other ways to offset it with, making the vehicle more sleek from an aerodynamic perspective, reducing mass and costs in other areas. But when we plan a new vehicle like this, we set targets. Hey, we want to be leader in the segment on quietness. So when we set it out, we said, listen, we need to overachieve in the customer expectation when it comes to quietness. This is a family vehicle. This is a high income individual's vehicle. Somebody's going to be an executive driving home in it. They want a sanctuary in that vehicle. So they're going to, they expect that level of quietness above just a traditional everyday SUV. And so when we set that target, and then the engineering team goes to work and they're putting in laminated glass, they're putting in sound deadening throughout the doors, they're isolating the engine, they're putting active noise cancellation. It's one of the things we added this vehicle is active noise cancellation, right? So when you're on the interstate, you're on the highway, it helps to limit the road noise and the wind noise. Using the stereo and the amplifiers, actually is listening, and then putting a sound wave out that's 180 degrees out of phase to limit and minimize some of the other road noise. So it's really, we looked at it as a true sanctuary, not just from the size and the comforts and the technology, but also, from quietness.
Like when you get in this thing, it's got this tall hip point, H point, which is the cushion of the driver's seat, the height off the ground. You step into this thing and up into it, and you have this commanding presence, and it's awesome. Lots of glass, good visibility. If you notice on this picture of the interior, the trailer brake controller off to the right, and we'll talk about capability here in a minute. You got the dual displays. What are these? 13-inch?
Dual 14.3-inch displays.
Dang.
So dual 14. So
up to by 1.3.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look, the air registers are, because the dash is tall enough, they're not going to hit your hand, like it's going to go out into the air. Where like, for example, we talked about the Chevy Colorado, the screen's so big that they had to put the vents really low, and with your hands on the shifter, it's all over your hand, right? Also note that the origami style pattern on the seat.
I'm glad you got to that because I was going to say diamond, but diamond's wrong.
No, it's similar to the floor mats on my Aria. It's kind of a diamond pattern, but it's done in a way to invoke. I know how to do it. Remember the old video game Q*bert?
Yes, that's
and he was jumping on the squares?
Yes, that's Q*bert.
It's Q*bert.
Q*bert pattern.
Yeah, and it's super cool. And then also notice it's a tri-tone interior. So this is the tan interior, but it also has like a saddle brown leather, and it also has black on top of that. So there's a lot of tones, and the steering wheel is also the new Nissan corporate steering wheel. And so the touch controls are capacitive on it, and it's pretty cool too.
I can also tell it's got fat grips.
Hugely fat grip. It feels
Right.
appropriate for the size of the vehicle.
The Platinum Reserve comes in 3 different colors. So you've got a charcoal with espresso, which may be the one you're looking at. You've got an almond with chai, so a tan kind of a almond type interior, and then a chestnut with rye, so a brown. So you got 3 different colors to choose from. And then, as you mentioned, the dual 14-inch screens. You've got a trailer brake controller. You've got all of your controls right there in the center, easy to reach. You even got piano keys. So we actually changed the shifter design. We went away from a console-mounted shifter or a column-mounted shifter, and we went with a kind of piano key design that makes it very easy to maneuver and touch. So we tried to simplify, make packaging easier in the center console, make it comfortable, make it beautiful, make it aesthetically pleasing from every angle.
Looks like you've got a lot of controls in the back of the center console for the rear passengers.
Also note the awesomely comfortable second row captain's chairs available.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So this has the third row or no?
Yep. So third row, and there also has ambient lighting.
Oh my
which you're
gosh!
seeing
Under the side door panels.
there. This is the dash, but
That's
yeah.
the dash.
Mhm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so there's ambient lighting, LED lighting that's configurable, so you can change it to different colors. You can kind of see it there coming out under the dash.
Can I synchronize it with my music?
I don't know about that.
You can do that, but you can synchronize it with your ProPilot Assist system. So you can have, when you're in ProPilot 1, which is our hands-on system, it'll be green. And when you're ready to go to hands-off ProPilot 2.1, it'll actually turn blue. So you're driving, and I actually will synchronize with your driving mode.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so then you can see the console, how everything's laid out. They've got the drive modes, obviously.
Park, reverse, neutral, drive, and it is
Manual.
just
It's
like
got-
piano keys. It's left to right instead of up and down.
It's got the shifters on it. You see the paddle shifters, so when you're in manual mode, you can control those there. Oh, also look at the little cubby hole here, and you can kind of see the sand dune pattern that's on the mat that's inside there.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
That's kind of cool. And then
I love all the piano black. It looks really rich.
so I want to take you to the interior of the Pro 4X because it's a completely different vibe.
Oh, what the heck? And he ties in all the lava.
Yeah, black and lava red
Yeah,
with lava red
with your-
stitching, contrast stitching, as well as white contrast stitching. And then look at the cool wood on the dash. It's like this vertical kind of gray vibe for this gray and black interior. And then there's like
They tied in the strip of Cubert across the.
Yeah.
It looks like
It's almost like a carbon fiber, but it's a
but
fabric.
it's Cubert. Yes.
And so there's a lot of detail into the interior that is absolutely just from the craftsmanship standpoint. You look at this and you're like, man, this is beautiful.
Well, there's a lot of Easter eggs. Like just at a quick glance, you don't notice it, but then you look back and you go, wait a minute, that's a pattern that ties in with the seats and the floors. And
so look at this Pro 4X interior, how much different that is from vibe-wise from the Platinum Reserve.
sportier.
It's like
in
a business
way.
jet or something.
Yeah, it does. It looks. Oh, yeah, that's what the seats look like.
All right, so this is the cargo area with the rear seat folded down.
Okay, you could fit 25 dead bodies back there.
That seems like 25 too many. It turns out you can fit at least 2 live bodies back there with the seats up.
What is the storage area in the back of this Armada with the third row folded down, Brent?
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, we don't use dead bodies as a unit of measurement, but we did growing with the third row up. We grew at 28% behind the third row. So that usable space, when you're going to put, you buy a big vehicle to put a lot of people in, a lot of cargo. So when you have it loaded up with 7 or 8 people, you've got 28% more cargo space behind the third row, and right around 16% with behind the second row. So depending on no matter which configuration you're looking at, you get a lot more cargo space from the outgoing model, plus more room for people in, whether it be hip room, head room, leg room for the third row and second room. So we tried to grow that space for both people and cargo, because at the end of the day, this is a people and cargo mover.
And it's pretty flat with everything folded down. I've got pictures of just how much room there is behind
it looks gargantuan.
Yeah, with the third row up, you still have a lot of room behind it. And it's the rear seat passengers. You fit 3 across, not 2, fit 3 across. They get their own USBs, cup holders, air registers back there as well. And that way, it doesn't feel like you're in the penalty box by any means. And those seats in the back are luxurious. And under the floor, you still get hidden cubby storage back there.
I'm seeing ports in the back too. Is that USB or power on the left and right? So if you've got your mobile blender back there for tailgating, you can plug it right in.
Sure.
Yep.
Lighting.
Yep. Yeah, USB-C's for the third row.
It's either 2 in the front, 2 in the second row with captains or 3 in the second row with a bench and then 3 in the back, right?
Correct.
All right, let's talk about chassis capability and the fact that you got a really powerful V6 that runs on regular fuel, but gets a bump if you decide you want to throw premium down its throat.
Yeah, so 425 horsepower with 87 octane. That's what it's rated for. If you want to use premium fuel, you get maximum performance out of that one, but we're rating it 425 horsepower on 87 octane. It's our VR35 DDTT, so it's based on, you're talking about the GTR there a few minutes ago. This is the engine family, same VR engine family as the GTR. It's not the exact same motor. There are some borrowed components and shared, but that same technology, that same heartbeat in Godzilla is here in the Armada as well.
So the idea was when they were deciding to go away from the V8, obviously they wanted to have a burly engine. They wanted to have something that was a little bit more fuel efficient. So a turbocharged V6 isn't uncommon for the class now. Obviously there's some competitors with that. Mm-hmm. But what they did was they went to the Godzilla engine family and then they made it for truck duty, because this is one of the, if there's one engine within all of Nissan's entire motor family, this engine is the one that has been tested the most in terms of durability, thermal management. They know the most, racing, all those things, and then they put that as the starting point for the engine in here. And one of the things that I don't know, maybe we can't talk about it, but they did start it up and move it, and so I'll just tell you, it
sounds good.
It sounds really good. It doesn't sound like a V6. It has more of a deeper, throatier sound, and I've said it on this podcast before a bunch of times. No company in all of automotive knows how to tune a V6 to sound good except Nissan.
Have we asked Brent about this before? Like, what is the secret sauce? Why are you guys the only ones who can do it?
Yeah, I can't say why we're the only ones to do it, but there is a proud heritage there. I mean, the 350Z is one of the best sounding sports cars, period. V6s for sure. Even on our Affinity brand, vehicles like the G35.
G35 is awesome stock.
I mean, Brent, when a Raptor rolls by you, do you laugh? Do you literally just chuckle and go, man, they screwed it up?
It doesn't sound anywhere near as good as the Nissan V6s.
No comment.
I can tell you that. No comment, but I can tell you that wasn't our target. With regular fuel, 516 pound-feet of torque, 425 horsepower. It is a monster. We tow 8,500 pounds as the max tow across all the grades. It doesn't matter whether you buy an SV grade or you're going to buy a Platinum Reserve or you buy a Pro 4X, 8,500 pounds across all of them. And that motor, it gives you great fuel economy. We're not going to talk about that, but it's paired with our 9-speed transmission. Great performance, whether it be acceleration, on the streets, acceleration, running up a dune in the sand, or towing a big trailer. No doubt about it.
So the I won't
spoil anything.
In case Brent can't say this, the other vehicle that uses the same engine on premium gets 450 horsepower, and if you put premium in this one,
Schminfinity?
Yeah, you get that too. So you get the best of both worlds. You get plenty of power on 87, which is awesome. But if you want to throw something in there, you get a little more. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what the torque is, but I know that there's been some testing on the other one, so the sister product, 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds.
That's respectable.
So figure the Armada is going to be right in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Sub 6 seconds, 0 to 60 for something that tows 8,500 pounds. By the way, independent front, independent rear, locking center diff, basically rear locker. It's got air suspension, so you can lift it up for off-roading. It's got different modes.
That is smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. So a couple questions. One, when does it hit dealerships? 2, do we know the price? And 3, when can we spin around the block in one?
Yeah, so I think the first one is the only one of those 3 maybe that I can answer at the moment. So before the end of the year, people will be seeing these in the dealerships and the showrooms. So get ready for it. As far as pricing, can't talk about pricing quite yet.
Okay.
That information will be coming even when we reveal the vehicle. So this is post review. We still haven't yet announced the pricing. And then I'm not sure of the timing exactly when we'll have opportunities, but we want to get you guys in to drive one as soon as possible, and we're making that happen very soon.
All right, so Brent Hagen from Nissan, thanks for coming on and kind of giving us the at least the virtual tour of the Pro 4X. I know I got a little bit more intimate one, but for our Truck Show Podcast listeners who want to see this, we will have pictures up when the embargo brakes, so they'll be up by the time you hear this episode. But Lightning, I get it. Nissan's our sponsor, but I'm blown away by what Brent and team were able to do with this vehicle. I'm really looking forward to doing some road trips in it.
Oh, wait, you've gone so far as to insinuate that they're going to give you one long enough term that you'll be able to do a road trip in it.
Yes.
Can I come?
Negotiable.
Great. Like normal.
Hey, Brent, you're welcome if you want to come.
What are you doing? What?
No. What I meant was he could come with us, and then we can do the show from inside.
That's not what you meant at all. You meant Lightning will stay at home, and you'll take Brent because he's more fun.
Well,
that's what I just heard.
That's true.
Yeah. Brent, you're the man. Thank you for checking in with us and kind of spilling the beans on the new Armada.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right, we're going to have you back because we got to talk Frontier soon, too.
All right, looking forward to it always.
All right.
Thanks,
Talk
Brent.
soon. Thanks, Brent.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing about the all-new Nissan Armada. It'll be out soon, and head over to @TruckShowPodcast, and we will have some photos of it posted. Yeah!